Hi, welcome to this introductory video for EDAD 6845, unit number 8. This is our final unit of the course, and our primary objective here is really to pull together all of the components of your final project that you've been putting together so diligently over the semester, and create your final plan, create your final budget, and your grant application or letter of intent, and to package all that together and drop it in the Dropbox on Moodle. So I just want to give a few minutes worth of directions just to help set up a little framework for how you should think about pulling this together. First and foremost, take a look at the rubric in the back of the syllabus that outlines how I'll be assessing your final project and your final revised plan. You'll notice that one of the emphases there is on providing strong rationales. So you're going to compose a narrative document that's going to probably be broken up into sections. You don't need to spend a lot of time rehashing the conclusions you reached from your parent surveys and community interviews and all that. So if you're going to turn that in separately as a separate document. So this final plan section can briefly summarize some of the primary issues and challenges you found in school community relations in your building, but the vast majority of that should focus on the plan and what you're going to do to remedy some of those weaknesses. So you should have between 5 to 7 activities. Each of those needs to have at least 2 data points you're drawing on as a rationale. You want to have a community garden. You want to have breakfast club with grandparents. Why? What in your data or what in your readings shows that that's a good idea and that's going to have some benefit to the school? I think one of the biggest problems we often have in schools regarding parenting, family and community relations is that we fall into the trap of traditions. We do this because we've always done that. People expect it. And people generally like things that are recurring and in the same pattern. But we don't often get the results we want from family and community engagement activities. And what I really want folks from this class to do is to look at what you're doing with an evaluative eye, to evaluate the success and the goals that these are supposed to be reaching towards. And if something's not working, scrap it. In the long run, the parents, family, and community will really support a school and a school leader who are revising things that aren't working, who are looking critically at how the school is performing, and this is a really powerful way to subtly communicate your high expectations for the students and the community and the organization as a whole. So in each of your 5 to 7 activities, you'll have a rationale, at least 2 points of data that support this. That could be from the parent surveys and from my current plan analysis, or from my community interviews and my community partnership mapping, or one of the chapters that we read. And so you'll put those together. Each of those will have a rationale for why it's needed and why it's likely to be effective in some outcome that you choose, and be very clear about what the outcome of each of these activities is. You'll also have to create a budget. Some of the things you'll do won't require money. Just changing the structure of your open houses that are already ongoing might not cost anything. But adding new events, family meals, even something as small as a parent night, you might want additional refreshments. You might want a speaker or some materials, art materials, or consumable academic materials. So it could be something small like that, or it could be something larger like a full position that you want to staff with salary benefits. So on Moodle, there is a sample budget. I want you to open up that. You'll see in red there are some sample figures from an exemplar plan. You can delete the red on there and then add in your expenses. There's a revenues section down there. If any of your activities are going to generate revenues, you can include that. You don't have to come up with a method of payment for your plan, but I want you to be very sensitive to what the cost is, so that you'd understand what the trade-offs are in terms of other school activities that this plan might squeeze out if it were implemented. So your budget will get turned in as an Excel file in the Dropbox separately. You can just leave it in Excel format. It's easier to read that way. The last thing on there that you'll want to do as part of your plan is your grant letter. You do not need, as I said, to pay for your entire plan, but you do need to secure or begin the process of securing some external resources to put this plan into place. So I posted a link to grantwrangler.com, which is a good starting place for looking for grants for schools. If you have other granting agencies, whether corporate or private foundations or charitable foundations, you can use something that's not on there, that's fine. But what I'd like everyone to do is to complete either a letter of intent, if that's what the granting agency requires, or just complete a grant application process, whether that's an online survey type thing, or if that's a letter that you compose in Word. Whatever the granting agency requires, that's what I want you to do, and then you'll attach that with the rest of your Word documents and submit that at the end. Some folks have had luck and gotten these funded. That's certainly not a requirement. We won't even find out till long after the course is over. But I want you to have that experience of looking what the funders are requesting, looking what they're looking for, and tailoring a proposal to sort of suit that also fits your plan. I think that's one of the newer skills of the school leader, is sort of this entrepreneurial fundraising activity, and you need to have that skill of balancing what the funders and donors are trying to support and what your school needs, and finding where those overlap, and then exploiting those opportunities for your school. So you'll complete that grant letter as part of your narrative document that you'll upload into Dropbox. That doesn't need to fund the entire plan, but simply a piece of it. So you might have a grant from Home Depot that's going to fund the community garden that you want to build, which was maybe only 10% of the cost of your plan overall, but that's fine. So if they're going to donate some shovels and some topsoil and some wood to make planting boxes, then that's for $1,000. That's sufficient. I just want you to line up your needs with the office sort of services offered by the funder. All of the final documents should be uploaded to the Dropbox and Moodle. It's on there. I want you to put all of your former project components, and I'm seeing the parent interviews, or the parent survey and the community interviews for the first time. Put all those in a separate section of the same Word or PDF document with the final plan analysis and the grant at the end. So that should all be composed in one document, and then you also attach your budget in Microsoft Excel format. So you'll be adding a new message in the form there that is labeled the Dropbox, with two attachments. One that contains a very long project going all the way back to your current plan analysis, ending with your grant, and then you'll attach your budget. You'll also need to look this week at your field experience hours. Most of you will probably have reached the 8 hours required for the course in completing your project. If you have additional hours you need to secure to hit 8, then you can conduct those at any school in the next little bit here and have those logged. If you're a certification student, those need to be logged in live text, and there's directions for how to set up your portfolio if you don't have it, located in Moodle at the end of the course there. If you are not a leadership certification student, there's a template that you can use in Moodle, and you can email that to me by the date listed on the syllabus for final submissions. That's the end of the course. I look forward to seeing your final projects. They've been quite a while in the making, and it's been a lot of effort from a lot of you to pull all of this data together, and I hope you're really satisfied with the final project. I also hope that it makes it to the desks of your mentors and your administrators in the school, because I think you've probably spent a lot more time thinking and collecting data on school community relations than a sitting administrator would. And so use this work to promote yourself and to improve your school. And so I hope that when these are completed, they make their way through the administration of the school so that they can actually be implemented to a certain extent. See you all online, and please email if you have any questions.